So, is Hood Outlaws and Legends really worth picking up? Let's talk about it. Us! The name's Rock Smash Ronin. Yokoso and welcome. While playing and streaming Hood Outlaws and Legends on Twitch, I've been getting asked a lot of similar questions. Is this game worth it? Is this game even fun? Can you play this game solo? Bruh, does this game even game? Hey yo, game work good? Is this game it, chief?
Does this game have any fun aspects to it?
Will I enjoy this game? Does this game suck? Why are there mixed reviews? What's up with this game? And so on. So I wanted to take a brief moment of time to give you my take and answer the question of, is Hood Outlaws and Legends really worth it? And here we go. Before we get started, you really should check out my ultimate beginner's guide I made that goes over much of the game in depth. Once you understand the core mechanics of the game, it's easier to assess the quality of the game. Okay, let me first start off by telling you a bit about myself and my interests in terms of games. Since what I think of Hood is, of course, my opinion, I think it will help you to know what other games I find appealing. This should help lend credibility, or not, to whatever I'm about to tell you. Again, this is an op-ed piece, and highly subjective in nature. Here is a hard and fast list of games and franchises that I found appealing and have put in lots of hours into over the years. Age of Empires, The Legend of Zelda series, Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars, the Pokemon franchise, minus any main series games after Gen 6, Monster Hunter World, Dead by Daylight, The Binding of Isaac, The Long Dark, Stardew Valley, Horizon Zero Dawn, the Tomb Raider series, Apex Legends, Hunt Showdown, just to name a few. You'll see a good mix of single and multiplayer games in the list, but one thing that links them all together is an underlying passion for good gameplay and design. Whether that game has good sound design, great character design, or maybe a super unique environment and world design, each of these games stands out to me for one of these reasons. Some of these games stand out for multiple reasons. So back to Hood Outlaws and Legends. No more beating around the bush. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I firmly believe this game is 100% without a doubt worth it, especially if you enjoy a good bit of PvP action. But don't worry, I'm gonna give you some reasons why, and also pick apart some of the poorly thought out criticisms of the game. Specialized classes and perks. Hood is a ton of fun. With 4 specialized classes, each with their own unique playstyles, you have a ton of different ways to play right from the start. You can play more sneaky and as a long-range sniper by choosing Robin. You can play push the objective fast, or harass the enemy team from behind enemy lines with Marianne. You can play hyper-aggressive with John, or a mix of aggro and support with Took. The choice is yours. Moreover, each of these characters comes with a plethora of different perks, each that will alter their effectiveness in certain situations, further adding to the dynamic gameplay. Want to play a Robin that deals more damage from farther away? There are perks for that. Want to play a Robin that can Mike Tyson his way out of a fistfight with John? There are perks for that too. Great co-op PvP gameplay. Games can be a lot of fun to enjoy on your own, but I believe the best part of multiplayer co-op games is the euphoria of winning with a friend or a team and sharing that experience together, especially if it's a hard-won victory over a tough opposing team. With a full team of 4, or even just one friend, Hood becomes an amazing opportunity to synergize and work towards a goal as a group. When you and your team are communicating effectively, dividing tasks, supporting each other, and kicking ass, it's an insanely good feeling. Granted, this can take some time to achieve, but once you've tasted it, it's a feeling that's hard to forget. A lot of people say Hood cannot be enjoyed solo, and I would have to disagree here. Of late, and somewhat on a side note, some of my favorite franchises have dumbed down and taken away a lot of the challenge of their games. I'm looking at you, Pokemon. Screw Sword and Shield. I digress. I honestly enjoy a good challenge. Games that are too easy, hand-holdy, or otherwise insult my intelligence or capabilities quickly become boring and uninteresting. Very quickly. Solo queuing in Hood, or any competitive PvP game, should be viewed more as a challenge, and poor experiences here should not be direct criticisms of the game. Too many people are quick to blame outside factors for shortcomings that they need to realize are theirs, and take responsibility for. One thing I believe is that not very many people are good at communicating, myself included, but I'm learning. When solo queuing, and if you're like me and have in-game voice chat turned off, you have access to only the most basic forms of communication. You can highlight characters, players, items, etc., and you can give 4 basic command lines. But even with this limited bag of tools, you still have lots of room for fun and opportunities to improve your gameplay. You can get better at highlighting enemy players that are sneaking up on your team. You can ping the sheriff from afar so your team can grab the key. You can find the vault faster than the enemy team and reveal the location for yours. Sure, from time to time you're going to be put into a lobby with new players that don't know how to ping or highlight important info, or will have no idea what you're trying to tell them, but therein lies the challenge. Working with what you're given and trying to succeed anyways. I don't know, I've always found it more fun to be constrained with a challenge in this way, and to try and find different ways to overcome it and have fun. Granted, if you are comfortable conversing using voice chat with complete strangers hiding behind anonymity, be my guest. The aforementioned challenges will be reduced since you can talk with them in real time, but this can also be hit or miss and present its own challenges, as we all know. Great environments and aesthetic. Hood Outlaws and Legends really does feel legendary. It takes the Robin Hood mythos and gives it real skin and bone in a beautiful yet gritty world that is highly believable and immersive. The graphics are crisp, the environments are large, expansive, lush, and varied. The AI-controlled characters are full of individualism that makes each one feel unique and quirky. I actually really freaking love the sheriff's little quips and asides as he realizes he's been pickpocketed. And the medieval setting is just so badass and fun. If you've got the PC specs to run this game, I think you'll be pulled in by the beauty and dedication to detail. Communicative and caring dev team. Speaking of dedication, the team working on Hood has been very vocal and active with the community. The game's barely been out for 2 weeks, but already there have been numerous posts on forums, tweets, and other forms of communication meant to ensure the community that the devs are actively receiving feedback and wanting to do best for the fans and for the game. There's even an in-game event going on right now until the end of the weekend that rewards players for playing. As somebody who has been burned by dev teams of other games for failing to communicate, outright lying, or otherwise making decisions that would boost bottom-line revenue at the expense of gameplay and the fans, I'll just say that it feels nice that Hood is putting friendly faces out to represent the team behind the game, and to let us know they care and are listening. This game is their child, and they want to see it succeed just as much as we do. Moreover, Focus Home Interactive isn't really amongst the list of big dog AAA game studios that some franchises benefit from, so they have a lot more to prove, and therefore, I believe a much bigger incentive to make this game work, make it work well, and have it be a success. Worth the price tag. Again, I'm being a bit biased here because I have nearly 100 hours in the game, and it's only been out for around 400 hours. But do the math with me here for a second. $30 worth of entertainment that has provided 100 hours of fun. That's 30 cents of cost for every hour of fun that I've had playing this game. Can't go to a 3-hour movie and pay less than $1. Wait, what? That's not a fair comparison? Okay, well, let's compare the $30 price tag to the norm nowadays of charging twice that for some AAA company to sell you a rehashed version of a game that we got last year. Not to mention these games can be beat in less than 20 hours, so that's what, twice the cost and a fifth of the content? But I already hear you saying, yeah, you're not comparing it to a multiplayer game though. Alright, fair. It is hard for Hood to compete with a free-to-play game like Fortnite, Apex, or Roblox on price tag alone, but Hood is unlike those other competitive PvP games in the features that I already outlined. Environment, character design, gameplay mechanics, and fun cosmetics that you can purchase yourself with in-game currency instead of real money. And what Hood's got, those other games don't. I personally found myself bogged down by the repetitive nature of gameplay in games like Apex and Fortnite. The fun in those games almost comes down to RNG and how lucky you are with weapon spawns, whereas Hood is all about improving your gameplay and adapting your playstyle to the unique environment and set of opponents each game. But sure, it will come down to opinion and personal preference when comparing to free-to-play competitive games. Overall, I still think that what makes Hood unique more than justifies its current price tag. If you're on the fence, simply follow and wishlist the item so you're notified when it goes on sale. Common criticisms. I still find it hard to believe this game has mixed reviews. While there are some legitimate concerns a la ping issues and connectivity issues, there are a ton of absolute one-head opinions and reviews that I believe are sadly influencing others to review bomb this game. Let's pick some apart, shall we? Not a heist game. This person says they bought the game because they thought it was going to be a heist PvPvE game. They say the game is not that, but I wonder if they know the actual definition of heist, which is literally just 2 words: a robbery. In Hood, you are stealing a chest from the corrupt government. Can't get any heistier than that. Yet this person thumbs down the game because it had combat elements in it. Even if you were to expect a game like Payday 2, that game still has fighting and action in it, so what do you want, really? My theory here is that this person got in the game, got shift right-clicked a few times by John, and then became mad 'cause bad. Matchmaking takes too long. This is a legitimate concern and honestly a big reason why I stopped playing Dead by Daylight with friends. Because I'm kind of an impatient bastard who can't stand lobbies. Yet within the first 2 weeks of the game's launch, there was a patch to decrease lobby waiting times, and there's another patch to further improve on this coming out soon. So the devs are listening, are aware, and doing something about it. Matchmaking is horrible! This person is complaining that they are getting matches with players of varying skills. I'm sorry, but I really don't have any sympathy for this thumbs down or this logic at all. This is nothing more than absolute entitlement showing up in gaming. Do you understand how much longer the queue times would be if the game waited for the absolute perfect and best match in terms of teammates and opponent's skill level? You'd never play the game, and then you'd be complaining about that. Personally, going back to the concept of challenges, I'd much rather wait less, game more, and get experience playing better players more often so that I would be able to improve my gameplay and become a better player myself. This person has only 7 hours in the game. Give it another 70, bud, and then you'll be complaining that all your opponents are too easy. See how easy it is to flip the coin? Character balance issues! This person started off their negative review by praising the game. Huh, that's funny. Then they proceed to drone on and on about how there are only 2 characters worth playing in the game. See, this is something that the devs would obviously find concerning, if this was in fact the case, which it's not. As you can see here, these are the win percentages for each character. They are not exactly the same, but in what world would that ever be the case? Considering the fact that this game just came out, the fact that these numbers are all relatively close is a very good sign. Moreover, the devs are constantly tracking the data and say that fine-tuning, in terms of balancing, will be done when it becomes blatantly obvious and beneficial for the health of the game. Again, I fear this review is from somebody who failed to adapt their playstyle to their opponents and became mad 'cause bad. Ping issues! Yeah, the fact that my friends in Oceania and Asia don't have servers kinda sucks, I will admit that. But this reviewer is complaining about 180 ping ruining the PvP aspect of the game. As somebody who has played Dead by Daylight since it came out, I laugh wholeheartedly at this comment, because DBD was definitely playable as a PvP game at 180 ping, and sometimes higher, due to the peer-to-peer networking of those matches. If your killer who was the host of the match had toaster Wi-Fi, your connection to the game would suck. But even still, on average, the game was very fun and playable. And look where the game is today. Still around, still kicking, even in spite of its horrendously bad early ping days. So yeah, ping will suck for Robin and his need to be super precise with his shots. But that doesn't mean that you can't absolutely wreck faces and have fun with Took, John, or even Marianne.
Yeah, frames locked at 60.
I don't really want to go into depth on this one too much. There's a lot of debate on what is better for gameplay, 60 frames, 120 frames, unlimited. Some people saying that the human eye isn't even capable of accurately discerning anything more than 60 frames, yada yada yada. It often depends on your monitor and other factors concerning that specific game anyways. Suffice it to say, the devs are aware of the concern over the locked frames and would like to do something about it, though changing this appears to require a seemingly large overhaul and change to the code that may break the game more than fix it at first. Anyways, the game is playable as is, and anecdotally, I've gotten sniped by plenty of Robin from the opposite side of docks to prove this. Boring. Last and most certainly least, we have this comedic little number that just states the word boring. No explanation as to why the game is boring, no logic, no nothing, just boring. Well, I hope you wouldn't take this person's opinion of the game too seriously, as they didn't even play for a full hour. That's like barely past the freaking tutorial. I doubt they even got a PvP match in that time. I can't with these people. Why have an opinion on something you know nothing about? Other opinions. Okay, so I may be biased because I enjoy the game, but don't just take my word that the game is fun. Here are some other opinions on the game as well. I think Hood is worth it if you are looking to play a competitive co-op PvPvE game and are willing to put in the time and effort into learning the classes. I've been comparing it to a MOBA, where it's highly dependent on teamwork and communication, and personally, I love that aspect. There is a bit of a lack of content at the moment, but the devs have assured that more content is coming very soon, so I'm enticed to stay with it. Even without it though, the one game mode available is worth it in itself, since learning the classes takes time and is a fun challenge. Also, super satisfying to see skill improvement while playing your favorite character. Hood is great to play with friends. Getting head snipes feels amazing, and assassinating people is so satisfying, and the greatest part is anyone can win at any time. It's a breath of fresh air, capture the flag fun, but with a killer twist. There is so much potential to grow this into something bigger. This brings back the competitive side that sports provided in my past, and it's almost as if I'm able to recapture that somehow. And with that, I'll end this video. In short, I think the game is worth the price tag, and I've had a ton of fun playing solo and with friends. If you are on PC and on Steam, you can pick up the game and play for free for 2 hours. If you really aren't sold on the game, Steam's ironclad return policy will allow you to get your money back on the game as long as you haven't played more than 2 hours. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Kindly hit that like button if you've enjoyed. Subscribe for more content on Hood Outlaws and Legends. Hit the bell icon if you be so inclined. Until next time, ya hoodlums.